For me, one of the great joy of summer is to play Boules with friends. It's the perfect place to get together for food, wine, and fun. And I started playing when I was 7 years old, and I still play at 80. It's a very simple game, similar to Italian bocce. You play head-to-head, tossing metal balls against 1, 2, 3, even 4 players. And the goal is to get your ball as close to the jack as possible. And the ball the closest to the jack get the point. The team which get to 13 first win the game. I'm cooking for my Boule party today on Jacques Pépin heart and soul. You know, at my house, we look forward to our Boule League, especially when it's our turn to host the party. Yeah, beautiful. We have 2 points. This is the Boule des Dimanches, the Sunday ball. We call it pétanque in France, which means fit together in the old Provençal language. We have like 6, 7, 8 hors d'oeuvres that we pass around. A little tortilla crisp filled up with shrimp, lamb sausage that we put into a leaves of lettuce with pickled onion and cilantro in there. And then, of course, we have a Brie, a big Brie, the Brie de Meaux, some honey, pistachio, and some dry cranberry around. And then we do a big buffet. We braise 2 big ham today with peaches around. We have a big taboulé salad, chickpea salad, tomato and fresh basil salad, and we have smoked salmon. So we're going to have a bowl and a lot of wine. I love those shrimp crackers. They are shrimp or crab cracker, very inexpensive. You buy them, you can keep them for months, and you put them in like oil, 340, 350 degrees, and they pop in no time at all, and it's a beautiful little receptacle. You know, today I'm gonna put some caviar in it, but often I put guacamole, I put a shrimp in it, I put eggs, ratatouille. Can put all of that stuff in it. It's really easy to use. And here it is. Takes no time to do. Try to empty the oil from inside. This is, of course, a no-taste oil, canola type of oil. I am going to put a few on this. And they own. Okay. So in those, you want to let them cool off, of course, but they cool very fast. I'm going to put a little bit of cream inside here. This is a crème fraîche. So put about a good teaspoon. Those can stay quite a while. They stay quite crisp. You know, eventually they will soften a little bit, but it does take a while. And then I have caviar in there. I've always have to do something with caviar when we do a big party. Just for my wife. Love the trout here. Okay. See, this one is a smaller eggs, and it's a trout caviar. And this one, you can see the much larger eggs, and it's the salmon. Usually the salmon, I'll take some salmon now. Usually the salmon, they use one type of salmon. The king very often is used, or the chum. The chum salmon is not your best salmon, but it does the best raw for some reason. And if you can look very closely at that raw inside, you can see that it's yellow, but it has a deep red eye inside. That's probably from the chum. Caviar refer, of course, to any fish eggs is called caviar, but if you just say the word caviar, it has to be sturgeon. If you have salmon, caviar, or trout, caviar, you add the name to it. If you just say caviar, it is the sturgeon, which is, of course, is more expensive. Maybe a little bit of chive in there for color. This is beautiful. It's very easy. When we play Boules, those are easy to pass around and people love them. So this is the trout caviar on crab chip. And next, I'm going to do a taboulé salad. So I'll start with the taboulé, of course. And the taboulé is actually cracked wheat, which is like that, which is pre-steamed. You put 2 cups to 1 cup boiling water. It has to steep like that for a good 30, 40 minutes, just like this. And it will look like this in a little while. Sometimes you look at it, I think this one is still a little wet. I press a little bit of juice because I don't want too much liquid in it. I'm going to put some cucumber with the skin and all, some jalapeno, a good half a cup of tomato, shredded carrot, and I like to put radish in it too, salt in there, scallion like this. Whoop, here it is. And I always like to put mint in it, but with the mint, cilantro. I think that cilantro and mint together give a very, very definite, very specific taste. Here we are. So here I want like 2-3 tablespoons of lime juice. You can have all of your ingredients together, but don't mix that too many hours ahead. And finally, I think some olive oil. Smells good. I have some mint there, maybe on top, part of it. And here is our taboulé salad. And now, egg and herb treats. This is one of our favorite things in the summer. First, because I have fantastic eggs. I have eggs next to my house with the chicken running around. So I have happy chicken, who give me very good eggs. Tarragon out of the garden, the chive too. We do a type of scrambled eggs that we serve outside for the Boules party. It's easy to do, it's delicious, you do it at the last moment. If you don't have tarragon, put chervil or put a bit of basil. Okay, I have salt and pepper, salt in there, a little piece of butter, and we're ready to do the eggs. Okay. This is a nice little whisk. Work quite well to beat the eggs. You want the eggs to be, not to have long white streak, but to be well mixed together. Okay. Okay, I go in the corner here. Remember that when the eggs are 3/4 of the way cooked, I will take them out because there is a great deal of residual heat in that pan, and I don't want them to be overcooked. Yeah, it's taking now, I can see it. Okay, and that's plenty. I don't want to cook that more. I want to put a little bit of cream in it. Crème fraîche or sour cream. The cold of it is going to stop the cooking of the eggs. And to make sure that it doesn't cook further, I'm going to transfer it. Because this is served outside, kind of lukewarm, you know. Okay. That's it. So this is 4 eggs. And you do quite a lot with it, with the 4 eggs. So I'm going to put it on this. And what I like to use are those Chinese spoons like this. They are easy to serve outside. Okay. All right, let's see now. Try not to make a mess out of it. Now, of course, most of the time we would serve it just like this. Sometimes I put a bit of smoked salmon on it. Goes very well with it. Smoked trout. My wife Gloria used to go fishing and getting a lot of trout in the mountain in the Catskill. And I always used to smoke it and serve it with scrambled eggs. As you can see here, with my 4 eggs, I would have at least, well, probably 12 of those, meaning probably 1 egg for three of those. If I want to be really fancy, then I have a little bit of caviar here. This is a dark caviar, a real caviar, which is sturgeon eggs. This happens to be an American caviar, mostly from the Mississippi River, and some grown in Sacramento as well. When you do that, you always have to taste it in case there's something happen behind your back. If you want even to go further, I do sometimes, I have truffle oil here. Whoop. Truffle oil, actually, the best way would be to put some in a spoon like that, just to put a couple of drops on each of those because it's very pungent. All right. And here is our eggs and herb treat for the Boules party. Next, I'm doing a camembert and pistachio crust. Actually, camembert, this is a double cream. You do it with a Brie or different camembert. I like to do that for my Boules party and buffet. I have beautiful pistachio here to put a crust out of it. You don't want them in total powder, but let's see. Oh, no, enough now. No, that should be about fine here. Okay. I think one of the best way to have the thing adhere to it is to brush it with a little honey, which is what I'm going to do here. Sometimes we cook, I used to cook the Brie like this, in a brioche dough. That was very nice too for a big party. Brushing a little bit of the honey around here. You don't have to worry about the side of the plate because I'm going to cover it so you won't see it. Of course, it's probably a bit easier to handle a smaller camembert than one of those big ones, but for a big party, that's more impressive. Okay. This is a good honey, I can smell it. Maybe one of the best ways to put it on your hand like this and to do right on top, like when you do a cake, you know, to put it all around this way. Okay. This, and now a little bit of crust on top. The nuts goes well, of course, with the cheese. If you don't want to put the pistachio, you can get maybe a little less expensive nuts. Hazelnut is very good too. I love hazelnut. And around that, something which goes well with it too, a dry cherry or dry cranberry in that case here. The dry cranberry are going to go well with it. The acidity, you know, of the cranberry with the richness of the cheese. Make sure that your cheese is not too ripe, especially when you put that on, because it makes it more difficult to handle. On the other hand, you want a ripe cheese, you know, not something like a piece of plaster. And this one here, I know it could, I can see it when I cut it. I can fill it up. I would not serve a portion as big as that, but just to give you an idea of the inside. Like this with the berry, some good cracker or French bread with that, and that will be terrific. Our Brie in pistachio crust. You know, one of our favorite wines, certainly in full summer, when we play Boules, is rosé. And I have a Tavel here. This is the southern part of France. We used to call that one pelure d'oignon, you know, onion peel. It had a color like that, a bit reddish. It's a very, very dry rosé made mostly with Grenache, Syrah, Mourvèdre, Cinsault, all kind of different grapes there. It's gonna be very well. It's gonna make me play Boules really good. You know, when we do a big Boules party where we have like 50 guests, whoa! I invite a lot of my French chefs. Jean-Claude is here to give me a hand. Claudine helped me. My son-in-law, Rolly, is here. Of course, Gloria, my wife. And of course, we have the master pastry chef, Jacques Torres, here, doing 3 or 4 different types of tart, and even brought me some Oreo. I love Oreo, so he does special Oreo for me. And you know, this is what enjoying life is all about. To be together, food, family, friends, wine. And now I think that I'm going to do another salad, just a plain tomato salad, which we always do in the summer. I do it if I find the right tomato. If I don't do it. Here I have beautiful, different type of organic tomato or heirloom tomato. Then I'm going to have a bit of red onion in there. And of course, classically, you have mozzarella, which I'm going to cut pieces here. And the tomato like this, I like to cut it into pretty large slice. Okay, now start arranging it the way you want. Doesn't really make that much difference. Undo my onion. Of course, coarse salt. And you need a fair amount of salt on the tomato here. Black pepper, a lot of it. And you want the best possible olive oil that you can get here, an extra virgin olive oil. And basil. And here is fresh tomato salad with red onion and basil and mozzarella. I love ham. And those are fully cooked ham that you buy at the market, lightly smoked. You wouldn't believe the difference that it makes to recooking those. When you recook it, it takes a fair amount of the salt out of it, it recook it, it gets so much tender and better. You lose maybe 10% of the weight, but it makes a great deal of difference. Fill it up in a big stock pot like that, cold water on top. You don't even bring it to a boil, you bring it to about 170, 180 degrees, and you gently leave it at that temperature a couple of hours, a good couple of hours for that size. And then let it cool off in the liquid, and that's basically what I have here. I mean, it's not cold, but it's cool enough so that I can lift it up and continue with the recipe here. So, up, I have my ham here. Boy. Clean up the top. So you can see I have the rind on top. Well, the rind, I like the rind, so I tend to keep the rind. The part underneath, which is kind of leathery here, I tend to trim it. So I'm going to trim this a little bit around, maybe like this. That part like this, you see that dark skin here. It's kind of leathery and so forth, so I tend to remove that. Yeah, a little bit all over here. And I know that that ham has been recooked. I could even already take a little piece of it. And it's really good. But we're gonna make it better even. Okay. So, I will put that in a roasting pan. Often I put a rack underneath like this, and maybe some non-stick aluminum foil underneath. Makes it easier to clean. And what I have here, I have ketchup, okay, and about 1/3 cup of maple syrup. Now I need acidity, so a couple of tablespoons at least of vinegar, and I'm using a balsamic vinegar, which is acid but sweet also. And I need hotness, and I love the sriracha sauce or any other type of hot pepper sauce, hot chili sauce. And that will be the glazing sauce. I will score the top, score the rind. I remember many, many years ago, It was around the christening of Claudine, my daughter. And we did a party, and James Beard came to the party there, so it was a long, long time ago. And I braised the ham like that. He loves ham. I think he took the whole part of it with the rind and the fat, and he ate it by himself. Yeah, he was a good cruncher, man. Okay, so we're gonna remember that this is cooked, huh? The ham is fully cooked now, but I'm gonna put it in the oven. My ham is cooked now. Well, it's still lukewarm, and it's been in the oven. You see, it's tender. 400 degrees, 45 minutes, then brush it again, and another 20, 30 minutes, and now it's ready to serve it. You know, you can serve it directly on a large board like this, and it's really nice. You have different area of the ham. Some people, I know that maybe people are going to fight to have some of that skin here. And basically, you keep cutting pieces. I can't resist. I have to have a piece of that rind. That's pretty good. You can, in fact, you know, even put a little more of the sauce on top of it at the last moment. Even here. I would serve it like this, you know, with maybe a bunch of watercress. They are like watercress, and it will go well with it. This is our smoked ham braised with maple syrup. And of course, with that, I need red wine. This is the real classic Pinot Burgundy glass. This is the classic Bordeaux. And either one will be good, certainly with that type of ham. Either the Pinot or the Cabernet. I mean, actually, this is a Malbec, part of the same family of Bordeaux wine, the Malbec from Argentina, and it's going to go very well with it. That's what I'm going to have first. And I'm sure I'll find a volunteer to drink the Pinot.
What?
Huh?
What?
What?
You need a volunteer?
No, I don't need... Yeah, I need a volunteer.
Okay, here I am. Oh, my goodness.
Okay, this is my friend Jean-Claude, and he always come and give me a hand for the Boules party.
That's correct.
Do together, and I'm much better at Boules than he is, frankly, but...
Each time I come to your place,
yes.
As a Frenchman, whoever you invited, you have to let him win.
Whoa, do you see that?
No, whoa. This is in the education.
Part of the tradition too?
Yeah.
Well, when I go to your house, you let me win?
But of course you always win anyway.
Oh, we are, sure.
You know what I'm going to do with you next time?
No.
I'm gonna have 3 boules and you deserve only 1 and you still gonna win. So,
okay, I'll drink to that.
Okay, thank you.
Let's go play Boules. Not, you have to push ease, not out. The biggest Sunday of the summer. Planning ahead is essential so that I can enjoy the day with my family and friends. And you know what? I hope you do the same with your friend and your family. And happy cooking.